Hello, Rena here, and I would like to say that I am a huge fan of Sargon of Akkad. I do love his content, and I do think that Sargon does great work. This isn't meant to be mean spirited or hateful. Some of you might find this to be nitpicky and pedantic, and if you do, that's perfectly fine by me, but I would be responding to every everyone I don't like is a white supremacist by Sargon of Akkad, published on December 16th, 2016. The timestamps are 20 minutes 48 seconds into it and 27 minutes 30 seconds into it. And what I'm responding to is that Sargon keeps stating that Jew is a race, but like there are only two genders, even though there's, people are like, no, 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 there's three genders and 50 genders. There's only two genders, and there is only one race, and that's the human race. And that is like anthropology or archaeology. You could talk to Carlos about it, because and I could leave a link to his channel if you want, but there's only one race, and that's the human race. And even if you're gonna go by colloquially, there even if you're gonna go like ethnicity, it's like, well, you got black, white, Hispanic, Jew. That is still incorrect. And I have some links and resources that I'll be reading from. You can fact check behind me, if you want, because I do not want to misinform anybody, and I would like to make sure that the information I give out is valid. So if I make any errors and any mistakes, please post a link in the description below, and I would correct it as soon as I see it. First, I'll be reading from Jew frequently asked questions, and the question is, are Jew a race? And the answer is, in the 1980s, the United States Supreme Court ruled that Jews are a race, at least for the purpose of certain anti-discrimination laws. Their reasoning: at the time these laws were passed, people routinely spoke of the Jewish race or the Italian race, as well as the Negro race, so that it was the legislators intended to protect. But many Jews were deeply offended by that decision, offended by the hint that Jews could be considered a race. The idea of Jews as a race brings to mind nightmarish visions of Nazi Germany, where Jews were declared to be not just a race, but an inferior race that had to be rounded into ghettos and exterminated like vermin. But setting aside emotional issues, Jews are clearly not a race. Race is a genetic distinction and refers to people with shared ancestry and shared genetic traits. You can't change your race. It's your DNA. I could never become black or Asian, no matter no matter how much I might want to. Common ancestry is not required to be a Jew. Many Jews worldwide share common ancestry, as shown by genetic research. However, you can be a Jew without sharing common ancestry, for example, by converting. Thus, although I could never become black or Asian, blacks and Asians have become Jews. See Sammy Davis Jr. and Connie Kong. I would also be reading from Kuwara I don't know how to pronounce it, but Peter Flum says Jewish is the religion. You can be born Jewish or convert. Jews in the world can be in any ethnic group. The two largest are Ashkenazism and Sephardim. In the U.S., nearly all are Ashkenazism, and what we tend to call Jewish in terms of food, culture, etc., is really Ashkenazi American. In the U.S. consensus system, Ashkenazism would be considered white, as they are from Europe, mostly Eastern Europe. In the consensus system in 2010, most Sardium would also be called white, but this may change. In 2020, the consensus is considering adding Middle Eastern, North African to classifications. This would also be true Yemenite Jews. This Middle Eastern, North African option would include 19 subclassifications. There was a fairly large number of Jews in Ethiopia, aka Phalazium, and Beta Israel. Many moved to Israel. In the United States racial classification system, they would be black. There are also Jews in many other countries. I believe the only country with no Jews at all is the Vatican City. Let's see. And then there's also livescience.com, which says, surprise, Ashkenazi Jews are genetically European. So that's 3 different websites I used, and all which says Ashkenazi Jews are considered white. So no, even if you're going to go colloquially, Jews are still, or at least Ashkenazi Jews are white. But anybody could be Jew. I could convert to Judaism and could become a Jew. You know, it's kind of like Jews and Muslims are the same. A Muslim is just a follower of Islam. Muslim is not a race. You've even pointed that out in the video. Like, Muslim is not a race, damn it. And yet, you know, Jew is not a race either. You know, it's a religion. Again, this is not meant to start a fights with Sargon, and if you find this to be nitpicky, so be it. And I'm sorry for all of the pronunciation errors I made. This video, or at least my parts of the video, has been one continuous shot, you know. And I don't feel like editing my video part out, but I am going to like merge my video with some pictures I found, but as far as this section, I don't feel like editing. Bye y'all.